Hey everyone. So I'm going to show you today how to use this tool Calendly to solve your calendar scheduling problems. So if you've set up meetings and you're trying to schedule a meeting, let's say with Robert, and you have done this where you send them date and times, and then when Robert comes back and says, "Hey, these dates and times don't work for me. Here are some alternate dates and times," and then you go back and forth in this email exchange typically before setting up a time. And with technology, with tools like Calendly.com, they take out the pain from this problem. Okay, so they take out this issue altogether. And what you do is you set up your times, you give the tool availability, you sync it with your calendar, and then this tool, you just send a link out to your anybody that's trying to schedule a meeting. So, for example, here's how at the end it will look like. If Robert wants to set up a meeting with me, I can just send him this link here, this calendly.com/pkothari/meeting. And when he gets this, he can pick a certain date and time. So if he says, okay, I want to meet with Prateek on August 5th, I have already set it up to where he can do a 30-minute meeting with me. I will decide on the location later. So you can see meeting location will be updated later. And I'm going to show you how all this has to be set up, okay? But for example, first let's see how Robert would use it. So Robert would click on 5th, and then he can see the date and times that I'm available. So if he wants to meet with me at 3 p.m., he picks 3 p.m., he hits confirm, and then he has to answer all these questions, which I just want some basic details from him before he can schedule a meeting with me. So he has to give me his first name, his last name, his email address, his phone number, and then he has to answer this question, that whether he wants a phone call or an online meeting, or he would like to meet with me at the office. So these are questions that I have specifically set up, okay? And I also want him to give me the agenda points, that what is it that he wants to meet me about. Once he fills that and he hits schedule event, it will block 3 p.m. on my calendar. It will send a meeting invite to Robert as well. And it will take away 3 p.m. from my list here. So right now I did not schedule it, but otherwise it will take out 3 p.m. So nobody else can schedule a time at 3 p.m. with me. And it will also update my Google Calendar, which is open here. It will also update that. So how to set this up? So it takes about 15 minutes to set it up. It's a one-time setup process. So please make sure you do it right after this video. And after that, just anybody that wants to schedule a meeting with you, just send a meeting link. That's it. So how to do this? So in your case, you will sign up. I have an existing account, so I'm going to log in. So I hit login, and it'll ask you to log in with your Google account. If you have other types of accounts like Office 365, I believe you can still use this. And I'm going to just pick my TechArk account to log in. So in your case, in the sign up, it'll ask you for certain permissions for your calendar. So just go ahead and give the permissions. And that way, once you come in, you will see a blank screen. I already have an event set up. You will have to hit new event type. And so what this event type is, that so in the free version of this tool is free. In the free version, you can only create one event type. And what this is if I wanted to set up a 30-minute event type, then I would hit new event type and I would set it up. If I wanted to set up a 15-minute phone call event type or a 60-minute lunch meeting, for each of the event types, you could set up more than one event type, and the person who is setting up the meeting can pick between that. I have again set up only one event type, and I'm going to edit this to show you how it will look. When you actually click new event type, you will be asked these two main questions. What event is this, and when can people book this event? So what event is this? You're just basically giving some description and the location detail. So here I've just given an event name. You can call it anything. I have just called it meeting with Prateek or TechArk. Location, this is where I have given the note that, look, meeting location will be updated later. In your case, if you want to meet at your office all the time, or a coffee place all the time, or a co-working place all the time, just give that location address. You can also give a GoToMeeting or Zoom detail here. And that's it, and event link. So in this is the link, as I was telling you, calendly.com/pkothari/meeting. If I was setting up different event types, if I was using a paid version of the tool, I could set it up as 15-minute meeting, 30-minute meeting, and various variations of that. Okay, so I could do that. I'm not going to save this. Okay, then when can people book this event? Okay, this is where you're telling the tool that what type of meetings do you want to set up, and what is your general availability. And so you can see here what I'm doing. Hey, I've set up as a 30-minute meeting. I'm setting it up so people can schedule meetings with me for the next 90 days. Okay. Anything after that, they cannot do that right now. But you can change it to be 30 days or 60 days. I'm okay with people scheduling meetings with me for the next 90 days. Because I have a fairly good idea of what my availability of the next 90 days would be. And then here, I set up, this is a one-time setup where I can click on, let's say Monday, and I say, okay, look, I'm available from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. for meetings. Okay. If you have a meeting, let's say an internal team meeting from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on Monday, and that is on your calendar, on your Google Calendar, then it is okay to still say 10 a.m. here, because when the link is sent out, think of the time slots that will be shown to Robert would be only the times that I'm available on my Google Calendar and I'm available here. Okay, so it basically think of it like that. It merges this availability with your Google Calendar availability. And because I have an internal meeting from 10 a.m. to 11:30, Robert will not see those times when he tries to set up that meeting. Okay, so you can be relaxed. You don't have to know each and every day. You can just give a fairly good idea of, look, I'm open to meeting from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. If somebody wants to meet, let's say from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then after 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., right? Then you just hit new interval and you can set up as many intervals as you like. So only those time slots, 30-minute time slots between those intervals will be shown for your availability. Okay. And then once you do this, you can actually say apply to all Mondays, or even better, you can say apply to multiple. And in my case, I set it up to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Fridays is my catch-up day, so I don't set up meetings that day. And so I could do that. And that's what I did to achieve this look right here, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you go here, you'll see this is how I've set up pretty much that on most of these work days from Monday to Thursday, I'm available between 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay. So once this is set up, the rest of them are there a couple of questions. So invitee questions. This is where I set up that form. So you can set your own form as to what details you want to collect. If you want to, for example, set up this option of specify where you want to meet, I can edit this and you can see I've set it up as a radio button with the 3 options. So the user can pick between the 3, and it takes out all of that grunt work of me collecting all the details from the process. And so you can set up your own questions by adding a new question here. And you can ask the question. You can see, okay, whether it's what type of control, whether it's a radio button or a checkbox. Keep it easy to begin with. Just keep it easy. You can always come back and customize this, right? The rest of the other things, I just have left it as default. So it will notify you if somebody sets up a meeting with you. It will send you an email confirmation. If somebody cancels a meeting with you, it will also send you a cancellation email. So just leave it as is. The confirmation page, by default, it sends them to, so if somebody sets up a meeting, which page do they see after they set up the meeting? So there's a Calendly confirmation page. I have just, again, left it as a default. So you don't necessarily need to do anything with these. Just set up the event, set up the availability, and set up the questions you want to ask. That's it. Once it's done, you get this link here, as I told you. This is your link right here. And that link you can send out to people. And when you send that out, this is the page they will see, as I showed you earlier. Your availability, if I go to, let's say, Monday, August 5th, you can see it's only starting from 12 p.m. because I do have an internal meeting from 10 to 12. And so it's not showing that time slot anymore, right? So it's syncing with my Google Calendar and only opening up the slots that I'm truly available. Now, let me show you how it will. So in August, I actually have a vacation coming up. From the 4th of August to the 21st, I will be traveling. And so I'm really not available, right? So instead of going to Calendly, so once you set up the Calendly tool, you really don't have to go back to it. All I do is go to my Google Calendar, and on August 4th, I will set up a new meeting, and I will say out of office, and I'm doing a vacation. So this is just how generally I would set up my my calendar. So I'm just saying August 4th through the 21st up to 7 p.m. I'm out, because 21st is when my flight gets back in town. So I hit save, and you can see it will set up out of office. This is just my general Google setup, right? I've just set up out of office. Because I've done that in real time, if I come back here and I just reload this page, the link that Robert would have, he cannot now set up a meeting with me on the 5th. You can see there's no time slot showing up. The only day he can set up a meeting with me is the 1st or the 22nd. And if he picks that time, he can then set up the time, and he can then answer those questions for me, and will actually set up a calendar invite. So that's how easy it is to use. One-time setup tip. After watching this video, you could probably set this up in about 15-20 minutes. If you have any questions, then use this link, calendly.com/pkotari, and set up a meeting with me. And I'm happy to help you out in case you need to use it for yourself and you are having any issues. Again, must-use tool. I am going into the details of how to actually use it. I use it again all the time. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and let me know. Okay. Thank you again. This is Prateek with TechArk.